Hi, welcome to this student brass video, and whatever type of instrument you're about to buy, whether that's a trumpet, trombone, French horn, whatever, we've got 5 essential tips for making sure you get something worth having. Tip number 1. If you're going for a brand new instrument, think twice before buying the cheapest. It can be tempting. For example, these 2 trumpets were available online today. One cost under £100 while the other was well over £1,000. Just looking at these pictures, it's impossible to tell the difference. They both look great, which might make you think that it's okay to buy the cheap one. But don't be tempted. It may look wonderfully shiny, but as soon as you hear it, you'll probably know why it was so cheap. At best, it'll slow your progress, and at worst, it might be so hard to play that it'll make you want to give up altogether. Fortunately though, a good instrument doesn't have to be massively expensive. So here's our second tip. A good quality second-hand instrument may have a few scuffs on it, but it's likely to be much better than a very cheap brand new one. Many brass players start learning on a school instrument, then progress to a decent second-hand one, and then perhaps buy something new after a few years when they're experienced enough to really know what they're looking for. Which leads us to tip 3. Ask your teacher for advice. They might know of a good second-hand instrument for sale, or if you are going to buy new, should be able to give you some guidance on which brands are good and which ones are best avoided. Which brings us to tip number 4. Some music retailers allow you to rent an instrument for a small monthly fee. This is a good low-cost way of finding out if you like it before buying, and you can usually put some of the rental fee towards a future purchase. This can be a particularly good way of buying an instrument for a child, because if they suddenly decide they're not interested anymore, you can just give the instrument back. And finally, tip number 5. Yes, we've already made this point, but it's so important that it's worth making again. If you buy a bargain basement instrument, you're likely to regret it. So there are our 5 essential tips. We hope you found them helpful. If you haven't already discovered our website, head over to studentbrass.com. It's a free resource for beginner brass players with practice pieces and backing tracks to help you get from absolute beginner level to grade 1. Thanks for watching.